All right, let's get right into it. Probably the biggest question hanging over the US labor market right now is all about AI. So we're going to cut through the hype, look at the very latest data, and really pinpoint the clear winners and losers to give you a balanced view of what's actually happening with jobs and wages this year. And this is really the heart of the matter, isn't it? Is AI this giant job killer that we should all be afraid of? Or is it a tool that's going to create brand new, maybe even better paying opportunities for people who can adapt? So, which one is it? That's the big question we're going to tackle. Because, the debate has totally moved on from if AI will affect jobs. That's a given. We know it will. The real question now is how fast this is all happening, and more importantly, in which direction are things headed? To answer that, we have to look past the scary headlines and get into the actual numbers. And what's interesting is that recent research from places like the Federal Reserve and PwC, well, it shows a much more nuanced, more complicated picture than just a simple story of job destruction. And at first glance, the data tells a pretty optimistic story. Industries with more exposure to AI are already seeing some pretty significant gains. We're talking productivity up around 10%, job growth is hitting nearly 4%, and wages are climbing by almost 5%.
Not bad, right?
So the crucial point here seems to be that in a lot of cases, especially for jobs that involve creativity, complex analysis, or problem solving, AI is augmenting workers. It's making them better, faster, more efficient, not just replacing them. But, and this is a big but, that is not the whole story. On the other side of the coin, job displacement is very real, and it's pretty concentrated. Goldman Sachs estimates that AI could automate tasks that make up about 25% of all work hours in the US. Let that sink in for a second. A quarter of all the work we do. That's a massive number. And we're already seeing this play out in the real world. Some studies are pointing to net job losses of around 16,000 in some recent periods, and it's hitting tech and those entry-level white-collar jobs the hardest. It also shows that even where wages are going up, the growth is really uneven. It's much faster for skilled workers and a whole lot slower for others. So this brings us right to the core of this explainer. Who are the likely winners and who are the losers in 2026? Okay, let's break this down. The winners? They're the people who can use AI tools to basically supercharge their output. Think software developers, marketers, financial analysts. Also winning are the sectors literally building the infrastructure for AI, like construction companies building data centers. On the flip side, the roles facing the biggest risk are those routine, administrative tasks, data entry, simple content generation, and a lot of those classic entry-level office jobs that are, frankly, the easiest to automate. And the difference in pay is just, wow, it is stark. Studies are showing that workers who already have AI skills can command a huge wage premium. We're talking up to 56% more in some cases compared to their peers who don't. The market is sending a really powerful signal here. So what does all this add up to? Well, we're not just talking about individual jobs winning or losing here. We are talking about the entire labor market being fundamentally reshaped from the ground up. This quote from BCG is absolutely key. It frames this whole conversation perfectly. The main impact here isn't mass elimination, it's mass reshaping. The vast majority of jobs are going to change, but only a smaller slice are at a high risk of just disappearing completely anytime soon. And the result of all of this is what economists are starting to call a two-speed labor market. You got this one fast track for high-skilled jobs using AI, where wages and productivity are just accelerating. And then you have another, much slower track for more routine roles, which are facing pressure and maybe even displacement. And that could widen the inequality gap, even if the overall economy is getting more productive. So my balanced take on this for 2026 is this. AI is far more likely to augment and reshape the majority of our jobs than it is to cause some kind of widespread unemployment disaster. But, and this is critical, the benefits are going to flow unevenly, and workers who don't adapt quickly by learning to work alongside AI, well, they're going to face some very real challenges. So what should you be watching for in the coming months? I've got 3 key signals that are going to tell us how this story is really unfolding. First, keep a close eye on that wage premium for AI skills. If that gap keeps getting wider, it really confirms the augmentation story. Second, look at the actual productivity numbers coming from companies. Are there huge investments in AI actually leading to broad wage gains for most workers? And third, watch those entry-level hiring rates, especially in tech, finance, and admin roles. That's a critical indicator for the future of the entire workforce. Ultimately, if you look at history, technology rarely destroys work overall, it transforms it. The big challenge for all of us in 2026 is going to be managing the sheer speed of that transformation so that everyone has a chance to adapt. The future of work is changing fast, and staying informed is really the best way to stay ahead of the curve.
I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.